Hello, this is Keith doing a gameplay video of AI War 2 in version 0.607. It's going to start a standard game, and here we are at the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and pause so we can think about what we want to do. Here's the galaxy map, you just tab out to that. And so we only see part of the map at the beginning. Our objective is to find and destroy the AI's master controller. The galaxy map is a lot less cluttered than it was a few versions ago. You can see that with just a lot fewer icons. So, but what we do see here is the sensor scramblers. These are the things that are stopping us from seeing more of the map. And so we want to destroy those to move in whatever direction we want to move, to find the thing we need to destroy and to find the things that will help us do that. That's the bog standard AI war formula. Just the scouting itself is done differently in this game. So we've got basically four different directions we could go. So let's switch to the display mode and think, okay, but what way is going to get us what we need to make progress? And so we're switching to the capturables view here. Here we've got the Cursed Golem, which is a very strong combatant. And we've got an Advanced Research Station, which would give us a random new bonus ship type. Then the third option here is a siege starship. Really, it's a siege flagship. It's Mark V. It can do a lot of the things that the Ark can do in terms of capturing planets and whatnot. So usually you want to go for a flagship early on, so you have something other than your Ark that you can use for capturing a planet, or generally functioning as a mobile command station. So we're going to go for Branwen to capture that flagship. That means we need to go through either Baytoon or New Ellie. So to decide between those two, you can look at the defenses. Like here on Baytoon, we can see that all of this is kind of together. And so it's going to be a lot of firepower attacking us as we come out of this wormhole. Or we could go after New Ellie, and we see it's more spread out. They've got some stuff over here, like a plasma turret and a missile turret. That could do some long-range damage, but we'll actually be out of range of them when we come out of the wormhole. That's notable. But these are Mark I planets, so the defenses really aren't the main problem. If you want to come in with your fleet ships and you don't have any starship support, they can be hard. You might have to withdraw a few times. But the idea is you want to bring in starship support. You want to just kick down the door. So we're not really worried about what they can do to us on this particular attack. So we're going to switch to resources and decide, okay, what resources are most important to us. And so this icon, it should be a different icon, but right now this is the icon for power, meaning the per planet resource that controls basically how many turrets you can have there. It also impacts other non-military or non-offensive, non-defensive facilities like starship constructors. Power is what lets you basically customize a planet to produce what you want it to produce, whether it's defenses or other things. So Baytoon has a lot of power, which means it's a good defensive position because it can have more turrets. Twice as many turrets as an average planet. It also has a good fuel output, which is good long term because more fuel is your galaxy-wide resource for basically controlling the population cap of your fleets. On the other hand, New Ellie has hacking, unlike other resources where basically every planet has some of every resource, hacking is only present on a few planets. That lets us do some special things. We're not really going to get to doing those special things in this tutorial or gameplay video, but it also has metal. Metal is very important early in the game because it's the thing you need to spend You can stockpile it, and then you spend it to build things, and it just keeps stockpiling up. It's not like a population cap, it's just sort of a rate control. How fast can you build things? We start with a pretty good metal income, but we want more. So between the easier attack and the metal, we're just going to go with New Ellie. So now what we need to do is build the force to take it. The arc starts in the first control group. You can click on that button. You can just press 1, which is what I'm going to do on the keyboard. Now, in the original game, we would build our build queue manually, and that's fine. You can do that here too. But what I'm actually going to do is use this context menu to select. First, we want to rally everything that's produced to the arc. To the arc's control group. So that any ships the arc produces in the field will automatically be added to its own control group, and will actually be added to your selection if you've got that control group selected at the time. That's very helpful for not having to continuously reselect things. I'm going to go over here to Behavior, Build Policy, Everything. Because I had it to long range first to get the missile corvettes out first, cheap first to get the fighters out first, that can be helpful if you're taking a lot of losses. But I'm just going to go with everything in no particular order. It'll balance it out. Okay. Now the other behaviors we want: formation. Blob. It's just a generic sort of concentric circles formation. It's going to put the short range stuff up front. Behavior, targeting, defense. This means we want to shoot the things that can hurt the arc, that can hurt the arc's shields specifically, because those shields are really important to protecting your fleet and keeping your strength up. Alright, so we're good there. Now we're going to select I just pressed B twice to select the builder, the Starship Constructor builder. You can also just click on it. Again, we could build the build queue manually, but we're not going to do that. First I have to set the control group of this thing to a new control group in order to be able to set a build policy. But I hope to change that so that individual builders can have their own policy. So anyway, this constructor is going to rally to the arc, and it's going to have a build policy of everything, and we're done. All I have to do is unpause, and they'll automatically build those things and rally to the arc. One thing that's important. Oh, actually, I'm going to go ahead and hide the build menu so I don't have to. I get a little more screen area. I'm testing this on a pretty low resolution, but although the UI scaling would normally fill that out anyway. So I don't want this planet to be undefended when I leave. So here's the controller. Here's an important point. Your controller, which is like the old command stations from the first game, is mobile. It can't go through wormholes, but it can move it around the planet. So we're going to move it close to the Starship Constructor, which is you start with, which can't move. And I'm actually going to have it go ahead and... I'm going to show the build menu briefly. I'm just going to have it build a turret pattern. This is not optimal, but it gets it done. And if all you're really concerned about is just chasing off the odd attack, it's fine. Now, of course, when I did that, it it tanks my metal income. There's a reason why we're going for more metal. But I think we've got enough of a force at this point to go ahead and attack. We've got almost all our starships built. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over to New Ellie. Get it on top of the wormhole so that the arc can go through, so that we don't have things unshielded on the other side. Control right click to send the fleet through, control left click to send my view through, just like the first game. And here they are. They're going to take a lot of fire at first. These little drone ships going out here, these that aren't part of my selection, those are actually from the carrier starships. They just automatically produce those. Okay, we're going to pull back so we stop getting torn up quite so much. We're giving much better than we're getting, though. Those shields help a lot. There's a ton of enemy fighters that are very unhappy with me, but I don't really care. And we're out of range of most of the enemy's defenses at this point. There's still some, but generally speaking, lost the selection there. Okay, so things are calming down a little bit. We're going to go ahead and switch to a different targeting mode. Targeting to Siege, which prioritizes killing long-range stuff. So you see that this is a Sniper Guardian right here, which can attack from any range. And so my long-range stuff is going to prioritize trying to kill that and other things like it, because of that targeting mode I just said. Now you see that the Starship Constructor is sending reinforcement starships through the wormhole. Now they're getting picked off, which is kind of unfortunate. So one thing you can do is just move to cover your line of reinforcement. The fleet ship, yeah, there's a reinforcement. The smaller ship reinforcements are just being produced directly by the Ark, so they're not coming through the wormhole. So yeah, now that they've broken down the shield to go after that starship, that Sniper Guardian. And now they're going after, like, the missile turrets, that kind of thing. Going after these other Sniper Guardians over here. It's going to take a while for my Sniper Starships to crack through those shields, though. Yeah, our metal is still pretty tapped out. But it's okay to have your metal tapped out, especially if you're confident of winning the battle. You're going to need metal for repairs, though, so if you're worried, then you want to have something in reserve. But you don't want to be sitting around on maximum metal storage either. That means you're wasting time. So anyway, we're going to move in closer here to attack this particular part of the defenses with our short-range stuff. Short-range stuff has a lot higher DPS. Now they're sending out their fleet ships, so we're going to pull back a little bit and fight the fleet ships out of range of their short-range turrets. Just as our short-range stuff does a lot of damage, so does theirs. We're finally cracking through some of these shields, can take out the Sniper Guardians. I'd probably go for that. Now the Guardians, the remaining AI Guardians are now fleeing the planet because we've got such an overpowering force that they figured they're not going to win this. So they're retreating as threat, which means that they're going to try to attack me elsewhere, which is why we built those turrets before, even though those turrets kind of tanked our economy. Hopefully those turrets are built, and those Guardians don't immediately pop through to go attack. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and just finish this up. So long-range ships are incredibly useful, because it lets you hit them before they can hit you, unless they charge you, of course. I'm going to pause briefly. So, as in the first game, it's not going to automatically attack the enemy command stations, or controllers in this case. You can just give a direct attack order and they'll do it, or you can do what's called a standing order. Everything starts with do not capture. You can suppress that, and they'll automatically take the planet. And you can actually do that on the galaxy map ahead of time. Although nowadays you have to press Alt and then click to select it rather than just go to the planet. It's kind of going back and forth on that. So I'm going to flag Brandwind for capture anyway, or automatically, so that I don't actually have to give that order specifically during the battle. It'll automatically capture the planet. There will be times when you don't want to do that, if you have a hacking target, that kind of thing. Okay, so everything's okay back on Shola. New Ellie is now ours. We've claimed the controller. We've claimed. We're in the process of claiming the resources. It takes a degree of metal to build up the local infrastructure again, but the first thing we're claiming is the metal. And so now that that's up to 66% of our desired outlays are being met by our income. That little timer there is how long it expects in real time until you start having a net positive metal income, or at least a not negative. It's claimed the fuel, it's claimed the science, it's claiming the hacking now. We'll probably see some hacking points. There's the first hacking point. It's only going to give like 40 for the whole planet. So let's go ahead and move the controller over to the wormhole that leads to our deeper territory. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Controller. Okay. There we go. Yeah. I'm using a touchpad, so the mouse isn't the best. So we're going to prepare to attack Branwen. I'm not going to send him through yet, but I'm going to move him into position. I have some science to spend, so I'm going to go ahead and unlock his tech menu, starships. I like the maximum range. I'm going to go for the Mark II sniper starships. And actually, in a moment, I think I'm going to go for the Mark IIIs. That's specializing in very low DPS, but very high range. And it's really helpful to be able to kill an enemy plasma guardian that's very dangerous to your shields from pretty much anywhere on the planet. Okay, so we just got enough science, so I'm actually going to unlock both. Now you see that the Starship Constructor already automatically built the sniper starships that I just unlocked because it had the everything build policy. I like that. I like not having to go back there and tell it to do that. So we're burning through our metal pretty fast here. These higher mark ships aren't cheap. We're also running out of fuel pretty quickly. So, yeah, so I just hit my fuel cap before I hit my population cap on those. So capturing more fuel would be good. I also want to put some turrets down. Or I could just press the wrong button. Okay. That will keep these guys, the threat ships there. Can you tell the difference? Yeah, the ones with the little red numerals. That's a Mark 1, that's a Mark 1. You see, that's a red. That means he's a threat. He's actually aware of me and will come and kill me if he can. But it doesn't take too much to deter small forces like that. Okay. So... Oh, we're still on that point for some reason. Alright. So, okay, yeah, our metal is starved again because the turrets are building. Yeah, I'd kind of like to let those turrets build. I don't necessarily want to wait along for a while though, so I'm going to go ahead and increase the speed a fair bit using the course speed up, which just makes each step represent more more game time. You know, it's not great for in the middle of a battle because things will tend to fly around. Actually, now I'm going to pause because I don't want to have a bunch of time pass. So, but that was a good way to fast forward to the construction of those turrets. I do surrender a little bit of the initiative there by spending that game time on it, but at least I don't have to spend the wall clock time. Alright, so coming out of the Nueli wormhole, this is one thing we should have considered earlier, but I think we made the right decision anyway. We have our glittery Mark II Guardians because there's a visual glitch right now. Well, we'll deal with that. You see, coming through the Nueli wormhole is very different from coming through the Batoon wormhole. Now, as it happens, we probably could kill that shield generator covering the Batoon wormhole very quickly. But if it was more covered, we wouldn't even be able to retreat through it, and that would be bad. Although our arc could probably push it out of the way. It's very useful for that. So, but either way, coming through the Batoon wormhole is going to subject us to pretty much all the firepower on this planet. And this is a Mark II planet, which means it has generally even more than twice the firepower of the Mark I's by a fair margin. One thing also to note is that there is a tractor turret right here. You can tell by that little chain icon under there. That would be bad for our fleet ships because it would catch the fleet ships. It can actually catch your starships and even your arc, but it will prioritize the smaller things. One tractor turret's not going to snag your arc, but so we're going to go ahead and come through New Orleans as previously decided. Probably going to go ahead and pull back and let the enemy fleet ships come to us so that we're not under the fire of the medium range guns over here. We do have to deal with the fact that, you can see over here in the sidebar, there are 3 plasma guardians here. That's going to be bad for our shields. Can I get it to okay. I'm sorry, this camera is messed up. I was hoping to be able to center on each of the plasma guardians to see, but so they are. There's one right there in Baytoon. We might be able to force down that shield with our snipers and take care of it quickly. Right, where's the other ones? It says there are 3. I'm being blind, I think. Yeah, oh yeah, there's the one that got my attention. So my snipers should automatically, if I set it to defense, I need to set it back to defense to make this the case, but my snipers should automatically take that out very quickly. Maybe even my missile frigates, missile corvettes if they're in range. And there's another one around here somewhere. Somebody watching the video probably like, you idiot, it's right over there. Well, anyway, so yeah, those are the main dangers. And there are 2 enemy sniper guardians, which are nasty, but not too nasty. Yeah, like one's right there. We're gonna kill it pretty fast. That'll be good. Oh yeah, okay. So there's the other plasma guardian. So anyway, you can see that there are 2 unshielded plasma guardians, and one that's relatively lightly shielded. Those 3 things are definitely our priorities, and we should be able to take them out quickly without even having to give an order to do so. Our targeting behavior decision should handle that for us. So, enough talking. Select the control group, hide the build menu, set the behavior targeting from siege back to defense. That will let the enemy snipers live longer. Oh, no, we don't want to be doing it, Brandon. But the enemy's plasmas will live less long. And here we go. Yeah, we see we are losing shields rapidly. We're going to back up, but not back up very much. I'm going to pause real quick. One of the enemy plasma guardians is down. One of the other, yeah, that was the nearest one that went down. The nearer one flew through the shield formation, so it's currently shielded. But as we pull back, I think we can get it to come out of the shield formation. And see, yeah, my snipers are focus firing it. It should go down now, okay? And then the other one is unshielded. It's also being focus fired. Okay, my shields are about gone, so I've got to retreat. I'm taking heavy losses at this point. You can tell on the strength counter over here. Actually, it's not as heavy as I thought it would be. So, but I need to get my shields back up. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, yeah, now the last few ships got caught in the gravity well without my arc to... Because there's an enemy gravity generator right there. I should have focus fired that. It's not a huge deal when you have your arc there. Gravity in this game works very differently than in the first game. It's planet-wide, and it's basically just a proportional thing. The more gravity you have, or the more mass you have of your fleet, the more strength you have, the less impact enemy gravity has on you, and vice versa. But you can bring your own gravity generators or build them. I can actually build turrets with my arc on the enemy planet, and that's a good tactic to use. I honestly haven't gotten very good at that. I tended to just kind of fly around in a blob, but which is what people tended to do a lot in the original game. But now you can have a degree of strategy that goes along with that flying along in a blob. So, yeah, there's now some threat waiting on Brantwyn. That's just these laser guardians are medium range, yeah. And they're gonna hurt a bit, but they're just gonna die because, as in the first game, sheer force of numbers makes things die most of the time. So yeah, we took a huge chunk out of the enemy force that time. All the enemy plasmas are down. We should be good. Our metal is back in the positive. I'm gonna give the order from the galaxy map this time. Okay. Go back off a bit from their defenses. I mean, my carrier drones will go through just like normal. So yeah, as you can see, my shield blob's taking hardly any fire now. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to siege targeting. That'll let my Mark 1, 2, and 3 sniper starships go to town on their snipers. He's trying to pick off that one over there. It's whittling down the shield first. I'm going to let my missile corvettes range on the enemy now. I don't think they've even got anything left that can. They have 2 gravity generators. It doesn't. I mean, the gravity generators don't really matter, but just out of curiosity, behavior, targeting, pre-assault, that should quickly focus down the gravs. And the tractors are gone now. There go the gravs. Okay, we're going to switch to assault targeting, which honestly doesn't matter at this point. There's just so little left. Oh, is that a third gravid? No, that's the sensor scrambler itself. So let's watch the map as that sensor scrambler goes down. You can kind of see, even on the galaxy map, you can see the sidebar. You can see things kind of disappearing. Yep, there's the... Wow, okay. They had a gap in their sensor scrambler coverage over here. And we'll switch back to normal display mode. Yeah, you can see that scrambler there. Yeah, sometimes you get a bigger chunk of the map than you expect. Okay, so did we automatically recover the flagship? Yeah, that clicking thing gets weird. So yeah, so the siege starship is kind of lumped. The flagship is lumped in with my other siege starships. My plasmas. Those plasmas are very helpful against enemy shields. So yeah, this is a little bit of an interface problem. I can't even find where that flagship is. Oh, there it is. It's being repaired now. It's 90% there now. So yeah, this Mark V siege starship. I'm just gonna pause briefly. We're basically done here. This Mark V siege starship is not nearly as durable as the Ark. Not nearly. You got to be careful with it, but it's very powerful. And yeah, here's the other siege starships. You can kind of see the comparative size here. A siege starship? Siege starship. Insert Crocodile Dundee meme here. So yeah, an ordinary Mark 1 siege starship has 95 anti-shield DPS. That's a little cross thing out there, right there. The Mark 5 has nearly 2,400. That thing makes shields disappear at long range. I like it. It also has the capacity to produce its own ships. It's not part of Group 1 right now, but so we're just gonna select Group 1. Okay. So selected. It's got its own build menu. It can build turrets. It can build anything basically the Ark can build. Fleet ships. So, well, out of curiosity. Okay, yeah, there's a Mark 4 planet over there. Maybe we'll get one more battle in here just for fun. This video has been going about half an hour. So, okay, so the Brandwin wormhole is way on the other side from their main defenses. But these roaming guardians, you can see them move around. Some of them are stationary. Now, if I wait till all the guardians are over here, that might be something. Although pouncing on that sniper guardian wouldn't be bad. Okay, so there's probably, yeah, there's a Dire Shredder Guardian here. Actually, you can see it highlighted down here. If you mouse over. Oh, yeah, so it doesn't actually have its real model. Is it stuck against the edge? Oh, boy. Yeah, we still got some bugs. I suspect it would probably come after me, though, if it came out. The Dire Guardians, you'll see one of them on each Mark 4 planet, and it's really nasty. It's really nasty. Those things can kill your Ark very quickly. Yeah, the thing has got 37,000 DPS. So, yeah, you'd have to pay very close attention to what that thing is. And the thing is, it's also going to spawn as Shredder drones. Yeah, when you hear the words Dire Shredder Guardian, it's at least as bad as it sounds. Yeah, and so there's that Mark 4 over there. That's going to be a pain in the butt to take, but it can be done, especially if you're careful about it. But, let's look at this Mark 3 down here. Yeah, I need to fix that camera projection. It works great, but it sometimes puts you in the wrong place. Again, here, Brandwin's wormhole is fairly distant from the enemy's defenses, so we shouldn't get dogpiled too terribly coming out of the wormhole. But these are Mark 3s. There's no Dire Guardian, but these are Mark 3s, and they're going to hurt. There's a plasma there. There's a plasma turret there. Can't bait those, although if it's shielded at all, it's barely shielded. There's another plasma guardian there. Tractors. Not that we'd be steamrolling that formation early on anyway. Snipers, missiles. Missiles aren't infinite range, but they are long. That missile's, yeah, it would hit some of my fleet coming out of the wormhole. I'd lose a lot of fighters if the shields went down. There's the sensor scrambler. Doesn't much matter really at this point. So, yeah, I mean, we can give it a shot. I've got a little science coming in. I could use that to unlock some additional ships. I've got the siege starship now. I'll go ahead and configure the siege's build queue. Oh, no, it's already got the build everything behavior from Group 1, because that build everything behavior, I guess that was actually for Control Group 1, not just for the Ark itself. Alright, so let's look at the tech menu. Do I want plasmas or missiles? Well, actually, there's no missile starship per se. There's snipers, plasma. Well, we're going to go with plasma. And so Shola should start cranking those out. Yep, there's that Mark II. Where's it gonna go? I hope, I made a change in this version to make it definitely prefer a planet like New Ellie. Don't go through Garm, please. That would be bad. Okay, yeah, it's going through New Ellie instead of Baytoon. It's the same number of hops, but it can tell, okay, Baytoon is... Baytoon's not the place to go. Whereas New Ellie is free of enemy threat. Now, one thing I haven't paid any attention to during this is the enemy wave coming in a little over 3 minutes. Now, the tooltip display here is messed up, so we're going to see nearly 50 squads attacking New Ellie. But I think I'm just going to ignore it. The enemy threat will probably jump in at some point. Apparently the threat over here jumped in at some point, because it's not there anymore. What is up with this default? Okay. Well, I think we've got all the reinforcements that we're going to get. So let's go ahead, reset hide build menu, set our targeting to defense. Goodness, we might even set it to retreat before the end, which prioritizes things that are close to you, or otherwise can make it hard for you to get out. Gonna set it through. Okay. Yeah. Pull back. Pull out of range. Yeah, and that's those huge dents in my shields. That's the plasmas hitting. Now there's this huge swarm. Oh, that's a lot of Mark I ships. That must have been an earlier wave or something. Whoa. Wow. We just shredded those. That must have been my snipers. Yeah, the Mark IIIs aren't going to die that fast. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of reason to keep pulling around the circle. We're just going to run these guys over the shield and push them out of the way. Yeah, there's our snipers just going to town. Why is it prioritizing the tractor turrets? Huh. Yeah, I think it just ran out of defense priority targets. I switched it to siege. Now it's gonna focus on the longer range stuff, like that missile thing. Yeah, now that missile thing over there. Oh yeah, so you see the, like, that shield just disappeared. That was my Mark V siege starship making the shield disappear. 'Cause that's what they do. Okay, yeah, it's picking off the. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to get too much closer. Oh wow, did I lose all those siege starships that quickly? Yeah. I didn't realize my shield didn't drop that far. Well, anyway, they got replaced. Or something. Oh, maybe they were on New Ellie. Okay, who knows? Yeah, now New Ellie's under attack. They're coming in from the opposite side. They'll mess some stuff up. That's a lot of MLRS fire. It's just tons and tons of fusion rockets. I think, yeah, now there's these guys. I think my turrets can take care of that. Yeah, meanwhile, my longer range stuff is just going to town. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and capture this. Now I've got some Mark III. Okay, yeah, let's kill this guy. Let's kill these. Just nuke. I'm not getting them. Yeah, you don't want to let Mark III Guardians get away. Okay, let's just steamroll. Okay, let's bring the controller back to cover the wormhole. Okay, how are things going on New Ellie? Yeah, the enemies are staying at range to mess with things. They're actually retreating. Okay. Yeah, I had to set it up so that they wouldn't... oh, yeah, my turret pattern built some grab generators. So these guys are having a hard time actually getting all the way back off the planet. Yeah, they'll retreat after a while if they don't think they're going to win. I did change it so they have to spend some degree of time attacking before they're allowed to retreat. Yeah, I wasn't happy about that because it's enforced stupidity, but hey. Yeah, so now these guys are retreating. They're retreating away from the wormhole. They're camping out near the enemy controller, that kind of thing. And they'll come and find you when they think they've got a shot. Looks like the other guys retreated over here, but I don't have visibility because I don't have a sensor. I need the Ark or the flagship, I think, on New Ellie, and I'd be able to see what's going on there. So, yeah, I think we can go ahead and call it a day on the video. But we made this is a decent opening play. I mean, I probably shouldn't have captured that last planet because now AI progress is all the way up to 90. That's not necessarily very good spending to just capture 4 planets in a row like that. I'm not even sure what I got on XFA. That was just to show off, I guess. It was a fun battle. Alright, yep, I think we're done here. The next steps would generally be, okay, to look at what capturables are available, figure out how to spend the hacking I'm gaining, because I think there was hacking here too. Yeah, I'd pick some hack targets and try to do that before EIP got too terribly high. Here's a nuclear, ooh, yeah. Yeah, so you can capture this planet over here to hack, or I'm not sure if you'd actually capture it or if you just hack it. But you can go here and hack that nuclear warhead silo to gain 1 nuclear warhead. But nukes are very, very strong. I could use. You start the game with 1 nuke, and I could use that nuke to basically make this Mark IV over here, Dire Guardian included, go away. It's not great on the resources either. But, so yeah, there's the nuke silo. There's an experimental turret controller. Gives you more turrets. Those are probably going to change soon. Design template servers for both of these are for good for like if you especially if it tells you what design they're storing, which it doesn't right now. It should. Like if there's some particular unit type the AI is using that you really hate, you can hack those to corrupt that, or you can hack those to download it yourself. There's an armored golem. Those things can take a lot of damage, and they can do a lot of damage. There's a sniper's flagship. Oh, that would be nice. It's very, very low DPS for a Mark V starship, but it could hit from anywhere. Yeah, there's another server over here. Yeah, that's the advanced research station from before. Oh, we captured and then of course there's the golem. So there's capsules we could look for, or we could just prioritize revealing the map, as well as looking at the resources. We're doing really well on metal now, but largely that's because I just let the clock run. We probably would prioritize fuel, or possibly science, because it's kind of a juggling game between fuel and science. What's limiting the size of your fleet? Because you really need, obviously, you want to get a big fleet. And you also look for high power planets that you can use to form a defensive position. You do not have to continue to defend the planet you start with, which is very different from the original game. If we decided to make Baytune our home planet, we could do that and use the power to defend the homeworld. Or if we found a good corner to hide behind where the enemy had to go through a high power planet, that's good. I'm not seeing any obvious choke points right now, because the clusters are more connected. But alright. Yeah, I could keep showing stuff off. I'd like to, but kind of need to wrap this up. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for your support of the Kickstarter project and the game in general. I know we're behind schedule, and this thing was supposed to be out in October. But as you can see, we're working on it. It's getting there. And it's come a long way in the last month. And a long way before that, and the month before that. So, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.